The Committee on Free Expression is called to order. We're scheduled to go till 1 o'clock, but I would be stunned if we go for that long. I want to start by thanking the members of the committee for joining us today and for your comments on the report. After we approve the minutes from the last meeting, we'll have the general counsel remind us about our open meeting law obligations real quick, and then we will review the proposed report. The committee members, so moving to item 1, a review and approval of minutes. The committee members received the minutes from the July 2020 committee. I move the Committee on Free Expression approve the minutes for July 2020. Is there a second?
I'll second. Dave Schmitz.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Are there any questions or comments from the committee?
Yes, Bob Sommerfeld from Arizona.
Hi, Bob.
On page 2 of 3, comment that I had made from that meeting, the minutes indicate a former employee. It is actually a former student, and that needs to be corrected to reflect former student.
We
Noted.
note that, and then we can improve with that change. Any other changes? If not, then all those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Those opposed can say nay. Any abstentions? All right, thank you. Appears the motion is passed. Next, we're going to have Jenny Pollock speak to us for a few minutes about open meeting law and our obligations under that law. Council?
Thank you, Chair Arnold. Members of the committee, welcome, and thank you for serving on this committee. We so appreciate you participating in our committee meetings and the work on the committee. Just a reminder, as the Committee on Free Expression is a statutorily created committee of the Arizona Board of Regents, which is a public body of this state. This committee is also a public body of the state that's subject to the open meeting law. And so what does that mean? It means that meetings of the committee are public meetings and the public is permitted to attend and listen to the deliberations and proceedings of the committee. We post meeting notices and make agendas available 24 hours before the meetings. And the agendas will list the specific matters to be decided, discussed, and considered at the meeting. And the committee is limited to discussing those items on the agenda and matters related thereto. And any legal action of the committee will be done in a public session. We also provide for the taking of written minutes and the recording of the meetings. So what is a meeting? Under the open meeting law, a meeting is a gathering in person or through technological devices of a quorum of the members of a public body where you discuss, propose, and take legal action, including any deliberations by a quorum with respect to that action. Under the law, please note that one-way electronic communication by one member of the public body to a quorum of the public body that proposes legal action, that's a meeting. Also, electronic communications amongst a quorum of members of the public body that involves discussion, deliberation, or taking legal action concerning a matter that's likely to come before that public body, that's a meeting. So we just wanted to advise, be cautious, don't engage in email communications with the quorum of a committee about committee business outside of a properly posted and agendized public meeting. Also be aware that any electronic communications or records pertaining to committee business that you make or receive should be maintained as public records and would be disclosed in response to a public records request. So I know that's a very high level and quick overview of open meeting and some public records law. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask Samantha Blevins or Nancy Trivency or me, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Jenny. Any questions for council? Right. Then next we'll move on to review the report. Sam Blevins from our office is going to review the obligation of the committee and of the board, and we can go through the report itself. Sam? You're on mute, Sam.
Thanks. Good afternoon. Arizona law and ABOR policy requires ABOR to have established this committee on free expression, and we have to submit a report to the governor, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the President of the Senate by September 1st. We also have to submit it to the Secretary of State and post it on our website. The report has to include, under Arizona law and our policy, a description of barriers to or disruptions of free expression within the universities of the state, a description of the administrative handling and discipline relating to barriers to or disruptions of free expression within the universities in the state, a description of any controversies, maintaining a posture of administrative and institutional neutrality, any assessments, criticisms, commendations, and recommendations that we may include in the report, and an accounting of how student fees were allocated that were used to support or facilitate the expression and activities of students' organizations. Are there any questions from the committee?
Seeing none. So you've all seen a copy of the report, and the way the report is put together is each university submits their section, and then we stitch it all together. We'll do some additional formatting before it goes to the board for a final review, which is scheduled for late part of August. But if there's any comments or questions about the report itself.
And I would like to note as to the report that it goes through the statutory obligations. The fees section will have one addition to it. As it noted, NAU submitted its fees information today, so it wasn't included in the draft that's on the website and that the committee has reviewed, but it will indicate that NAU charges $23 for student activity fees, and those fees were used to, in part, to support free expression. That can go from there. And if there's any questions as to any section of the report, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, seeing none. Again, I appreciate the input and the work from the universities, and especially Sam Blevins from our office, who shepherded this process for us and yelled at the universities to get their stuff in. And so appreciate that very much. Checking one last time for any raised hands, seeing none. I move that we approve the proposed report with the changes as discussed in this meeting, and authorize Sam Blevins to make any non-substantive changes in preparation for submission to the board for approval at its August 26, 2021 meeting. Do I have a second? Tony, you're seconding? Okay, our second by Tony Massaro. Thank you. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Appears the motion passes. Again, thank you for your service on the committee, and we'll see you all again soon. If you have any other comments or questions outside of this process, following the open meeting law restrictions, please feel free to contact me or Sam or Jenny or Nancy to express any concerns or questions that you may have moving forward. With that, again, thanking you for your service. This meeting is adjourned. So have a lovely afternoon and upcoming week.